to Lisa Argen. And Lisa, a little cooler this weekend.
That's right. We start out quality and the cooler temperatures, which is what we have in store for the start of your weekend. As we getting closer here, live Doppler 7 showing you the low clouds expanding. So the North Bay is gray over into the East Bay, the peninsula, and just moving into the South Bay. Still a little bit of partly cloudy conditions over in the valleys there. But as we look at the live cameras, you can see how expansive the deck of low clouds is this morning. San Francisco, 56, 60 in Oakland, mist and drizzle on the coast. It's in the low 60s in Palo Alto. And today, about 3 to 4 degrees cooler in parts of the South Bay and at the coast. Little to no sunshine. Here is Valmer Peak, and the low clouds and fog bringing temperatures down at least 10 degrees today for Pleasant Hill, Walnut Creek, Concord, and even Fairfield, as temperatures were well into the 90s yesterday. So a big dramatic spread. The fog really getting going late yesterday afternoon. 54 in the city. It is 50 Santa Rosa, I should say, 59 in Napa with 60 in Livermore. So our visibility is getting better in Santa Rosa, but there still is that expansive marine layer. A mile visibility, Half Moon Bay. And here's a look at Emeryville, where it is gray out there. Clouds and drizzle at the coast. Gusty and cooler than usual over the weekend, particularly the gusty winds at the coast, but the cooler than usual, that's our inland valleys. We kind of have been used to this regime for much of the Bay Area, and then summer heat returns next week. Take a look at Napa. Wow, have they been lucky and comfortable with lower 80s, average high, 70s this weekend, and we'll slowly warm it up Monday, Tuesday. Wine country back into the 90s, where you should be this time of year, but boy, it has been a nice stretch, hasn't it, of some comfortable temperatures. 79 in Santa Clara today. So yeah, more 70s than 80s here as you get up towards Sunnyvale in the mid 70s. So pretty nice for you in the South Bay. But on the peninsula, you know that sea breeze is back. It was in the low 80s in Redwood City. It's stronger today, so that's why you're down to 74 this afternoon. And boy, that fog holding firm right here, South City, the Richmond, the Sunset, 68 in South San Francisco. Look for the 80s here. We talked about you in wine country over in Vallejo, 75. And on the East Bay, it'll be close whether or not you're socked in all day or see a little sun from El Cerrito and Berkeley. 7 News as high pressure builds in, and we'll see our warmest days come Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll sort of level off. Looks like we're going to have a pretty nice seasonal, on the warmer side, inland Labor Day weekend. Liz?
All right, we like to see that, Lisa. Thank you.
Got some skills there for sure.
Real skill. Tracking that fire danger. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Liz. A lot of dry fuel out there, and it is more widespread. But yes, this will all burn back. We'll have a better day today. If you were sweating it out yesterday, many triple digits. We were 101 at the Livermore Airport, 99 at the Concord Airport, and today we will be in the 80s for the most part, with those southwesterly winds through the Delta, cooling off our inland valleys. So there's a look at the fog. It's not a totally solid deck, but where we do have it, it can be dense in spots. This is a view from Valmer Peak, pretty overexposed, but the marine layer is there, and we're looking anywhere from 12 to 1,800 feet with that depth. It is 58 to 56 degrees in San Francisco, 58 Oakland, Palo Alto, 59 in San Jose, and from Mount Tam, you can see a few holes here, but you notice the camera shaking. The winds have been pretty gusty in spots with that deck of low clouds trying to expand across the bay. So right along the coast, those breezy winds, the sun coming up in about 10 minutes, and we'll be looking at the temperatures trim back here as well. It was in the upper 80s at about 2,000 feet. Today, cooler, but that sun pretty hot for this time of year for sure. 58 Santa Rosa, 62 by the Delta, 60 in Concord, and above about 1,800 feet, 2,000 feet. The relative humidity is just so dry. So we did have a better picture here, but from our roof camera, we have the clouds, fog at the coast, mostly cloudy for some of you, partly cloudy elsewhere. Not as hot today, inland and warmer for your Monday. And then temperatures will really begin to settle into that pattern that we were so used to for much of July, with that about 30-degree spread. There's a look at the fog deck. It comes back to the coast for the most part, but it is going to linger right along the shore there. So you'll definitely feel the change if you're close to the shoreline today. And the coastal temperatures, well, they're not going to be a whole lot different, but in the days ahead, we could even get a little bit more drizzle as the system drops to the south of us. But as for Monday, the fog pulls back. We're sunny, we're warmer, high pressure temporarily builds in, and that'll bring a return to some of those upper 90s. Here's a look at the wind flow today, anywhere from 25 to 30 miles an hour right onto the east, and that allows for that cool down. But as that system lifts on out tomorrow, not only will we have the gusty winds, but we're also going to see warmth return. So we will be kind of all over the map yesterday with that wider range. Here's a look at your temperatures for Monday. You can see the upper 90s near 100, but the coast only in the 60s with those breezy northwesterly winds. So this morning they're out of the south, and that is bringing up the deck of low clouds. 80s around the shoreline, the bay shore tomorrow. Here's what happens on Tuesday, though. We're going to get a general cool down. Still some lingering heat out towards the delta, but look what happens on Wednesday, settling back into the 60s, 70s, 80s, and it should be pretty nice, I think, for most of us to enjoy the last, well, you know, summer's not over, right? It goes right on through September around here. 86 in Concord, 78 in Fremont, mid-80s in Santa Rosa, but for those of you going as that system lingers and brings temperatures down, keeping them comfortable right on through the work week, Liz.
All right, sounds good, Lisa. Thanks. And then
good morning to waking up to some fog that is expanding across. Concord was 99, well into the triple digits up towards Lake County. Low clouds and fog back. A system offshore initiating a cool down today for everyone, although the coast has been cool, hasn't it? Low clouds and fog expanding. The marine layers deepening along the San Mateo coast, and it's quite dense along the North Bay coast. And from Mount Tam, you can see the winds. It has the camera shaking over 22 miles an hour. Temperatures are in the 60s. Yesterday, it was well into the 80s here. It was a warm day, and relative humidity very dry above the deck of low clouds. Mount Diablo is at 75 with about 20% relative humidity. 56 downtown. It's 58 on the peninsula with 57 and the fog. Breezy winds up to 18 miles an hour, Half Moon Bay. This is Vollmer Peak, and you can see it's going to be a better day for you inland. Right now, 58 in Santa Rosa, 62, those southwest winds already transporting the cooler air through the delta. Even Sacramento is going to feel a bit of a relief, 59 in Livermore. And look at SFO. Nice and bright, so you know the low clouds not totally pervasive. They're compressed, and so we get a nice day today with the breeze and a cooler air mass. So fog at the coast, looking at some clouds throughout the morning hours, and not as hot today. It'll be warmer, though, for your Monday, and then seasonal the rest of the week. So we have that deck of low clouds try to expand in parts of the bay. It pulls back, it lingers, Marin, San Mateo, and then as it goes back across the bay for your Monday, not only does it pull back, but we get a lot of sun and we get more wind along parts of the Marin County coast here. So even though we're going to warm up into your Monday, it's not going to be that bad because we're still going to see 60s and 70s elsewhere. So today, inland valleys in the 80s around San Ramon, Danville, upper 90s tomorrow, and then we'll drop off and kind of settle to near or above average or below average as that deck of low clouds fluctuates all week long. 78 in Sunnyvale as well as Milpitas. How about 83 today in the South Bay? That's going to be down about 6 to 8 degrees. Peninsula numbers, a stronger sea breeze, mainly in the 70s today, upper 70s to near 80, perhaps in Redwood City. Looking at numbers near average downtown with a mix of clouds and sun. Mid-80s for Santa Rosa. Could be down 8 to 10 degrees today, but still warmth from Lakeport, Cloverdale. San Rafael, breezy at 80 degrees. On the East Bay, look for low 70s. This is a familiar scene, isn't it? The breezy winds near 70 today, a sunny day on the way. But here, you'll notice in drizzle and cooler temperatures will settle into that summertime pattern after Monday, Liz.
okay, good to know, Lisa. Thank you. A trip to go see your dad? It's like, you know.
Every day is National